Hello, hello. Happy new moon in Pisces. I am coming to you live from the Space Unicorn recording studio. So we are back in the US, my daughters and and better avoid that. And I was trying to figure out where to record today because I'm in transition before we settle in our new house. I'm up at my dad's hunting lodge, which will be important part of this ritual we'll talk about. And I'm recording from our space unicorn themed bedroom. And so I've got my emojis here. I thought you'd like that. So there's this kid's what's he called? Just like a musician. He makes these like absurd songs for kids, and they're all like about the most absurd things. And one is a space unicorn. It's like space unicorn flying through the air, delivering rainbows and happiness for everyone. And you're like, doesn't even make sense, but we love it. So we are in our space unicorn theme room, and let's see, I've got my I've got fuzzy stars all over. Let's see if I can get one over here. Oh, there it is. And then we've got our planets hanging. We've got my moonchild bed. We got the earth. Oh, yeah, of course. We've got the moon. There it is. Let's see what else we've got. Some stars up on the wall. So anyways, that's what we've been up to the last couple of weeks, getting settled. So apologies if I've missed you on the last few calls, but here we are recording in the Space Unicorn studio. I think that's what I'll call it, the Space Unicorn studio. So this is the Pisces new moon, and believe it or not, you guys are going to be shocked. I made an agenda. How about that? How about that? So we'll go through and we'll do our intentions planning, and then we'll do our ritual review for the Pisces new moon. We'll do a what's up next, like what moon is coming, what you can expect, kind of like what energy we're moving into, and then we'll do Q&As. So the Q&A line is open. This is for active members only. So if you're an active lunar manifestation member, you can call into that line. Otherwise, if you're not, sorry, you know how to join, I guess would be the best way to put that. So, I was gonna I think I'm gonna show you guys where I'm at. So speaking of intentions, I planted the intention to have a soft landing when we got back to the States because we've been transitioning from Africa, and I got the softest landing possible because I'm at my dad's hunting lodge up in PA, which we'll talk about that because it's like a full circle thing. And this is one of the like fields out here, and every now and then there is this white deer. Her name's Seneca. So she is a Seneca white deer, and it's actually like a really rare breed of deer that are only found here in like upstate New York and upstate Pennsylvania. Because back in the I don't know, it was like the 40s or something like that. The military set up a military base, and they fenced in this area, and there happened to be a few of these white deer in there, and then they started to populate, and so now they're kind of like a protected type, and there's like 300 of them, and so they're called Seneca white deer, and we just found out that Seneca is pregnant, and so my daughters and I have been looking for her every day. So if I keep looking out in this way, and you're like, what is she doing? I'm like just on our daily Seneca spotting because the girls and I every day try to see like, is she here? Is she here? Where is she? Okay. So intentions planting. I'm going to do something. I feel like I have finally gotten kind of the deal with using this eCam live, and so I'm going to pull up a Foursquare for us. Hold on one second. Okay, so here we go. The Pisces new moon. Oh, Capricorn. So this is from the Squared Away Year template that you can find in the Capricorn new moon if you're using the old Wix platform. And then it is in the resources at the very beginning if you are using the Thinkific course. So let's scroll down. So this has all of them. We've got Capricorn new moon, Capricorn full moon, Aquarius new moon, Aquarius full moon, Pisces new moon, Pisces full moon. And so this is actually created so that if you actually printed this out, sorry, I'm just being funny. it will print on both sides of the paper. So really quick, let me move our agenda so that that is not causing a distraction for anyone. And we will go back. We will go back over. Okay, here we are. So in our 4 quadrants, what you're going to want to do is plant your intentions in the 4 areas: health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. So I'm sure I could add this really quick. So this is how I used to do it. So you go health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. And then I always write them out in I am statements. I've heard some people like to do this with like a bullet. They do bulleting. It's really whatever is your preference. This is your intention planting. So this is just a structure to kind of show you a possible way to do it and what it looks like when I'm talking about the 4 squares. So if you've watched those original videos from a couple years ago, actually I think that was from 2000, I started filming those in 2019, and some of them up until 2020, which, whoa, what a wild time, what a wild year. But I still stand by everything in the rituals, and I actually think that now is the best time to start diving back into them, because as I've been watching them back after, you know, the pandemic or during the pandemic, wherever we currently find ourselves, I'm like, oh my gosh, is this all still going to be relevant? And it is, because all of the information that I put into these rituals, the metaphysical texts, and just everything that's in them, in information, wisdom, all of it, it's timeless. And none of this information is brand new. None of it is like wildly proprietary, because it's knowledge that has been handed down generation to generation, to light worker, because it works. And it's our mission and it's our purpose to share it with others. So if you find anything that's not exactly in alignment with the time-space reality that we find ourselves in, I invite you to open up your purview and take the long view, right? Take the 100-year view or the 80-year view and see, will this information serve a future version of you? And could this, stay with me, could this information serve a past version of you? And in creating this new version of you, could you access the past version to give them that information and help you on your way? I'm not going to go crazy into this, because if we had somebody on Q&A, I would like totally dive into this, because it's more of a back and forth conversation. But what if time isn't linear, right? What if we have multiple existences happening all in parallel, and it's like a matter of sliding scales? And if time is moving like this instead of like this, where if a lesson is learned here, we can only apply it forward, right? We can't go back in time. I think an apology is the only way in this time-space reality you can actually travel in time. I say that because if you issue someone an apology, you can immediately go back into that moment that a wound was inflicted, a hurt was caused, or something happened, and say, I'm sorry. And then it heals forward, because every time you look back at like, you know, there you go, like all the incidents that happened, like the hurt happened and then the pain followed, and then you're here, and then an apology is issued. And instead of looking back at all these painful things, it's like, so much pain, so much pain, so much pain, wound. It's actually like, yeah, that was painful, but you know what? It's like, okay, heal. And so I think an apology in this time-space reality is one of the very few ways that we can actually time travel. Again, better in a Q&A format. And I think I've done other rituals about this, or I've talked about this before, time traveling, and how an apology or forgiveness is truly like a form of time traveling, because you can go back and like heal things in our linear way of perceiving time. So now flip it, and if we are perceiving time in like these sliding scales of like, for example, I never thought in a million years I would be in this house recording this. If somebody 10 years ago had said that, I'd be like, that's just unfathomable. But in the sliding scale of life and how things have shifted and moved, and apologies have been issued and healing has taken place, I can totally see how this was always the inevitable outcome. But in this version of time and space and healing, doesn't make any sense. Oh, I've got to get the dog. Hold on. Okay, I actually got the dog and got a pie out of the oven. Um, I'm back in the States, and I really love our country. Like, I'm a proud American, but I just really love America. Like, it's just, life is easy. And when it's hard, there's still things that can be easy, like going to the grocery store. And I've got to go over and see my aunts. I don't have to go over, I get to go over and see my aunts this afternoon. And I was like, oh, I've got to do this today. I've got other things going on. I'm in this huge lodge that I'm trying to keep clean just because I'm here as a guest. I mean, it's my father's, so it's like, when it's your parents' house, but also, it's his business. And so I'm trying to keep it clean and organized while my daughters and I are still doing like our daily life here. And I was like, oh, I've got to bring something. I made muffins and I burnt them. So anyways, I got a pie from the store and I'm so excited. It's pumpkin. It's March and I'm like so excited about pumpkin pie, but I think it's because I haven't had like those quintessential American things for a minute and I just kind of miss them. So anyways, we were talking about like time and space and how we can time travel. That is more of a Sagittarius ritual, like a Sagittarius new moon ritual, where we talk about like time portals and celestial travel. So I'm going to put a pin in that, but I'm going to get back to the agenda. But what I was going with that is plant your intentions. So you saw the screen, right? So we saw this, how you can plant your health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression in a quadrant, or you just take a blank piece of paper, fold it in half into fourths, hamburger, hot dog, and you've got four quadrants. Put the date of the Pisces new moon. I usually do it along the side, and then flip it over, and you'll be ready to note your manifestations in the Pisces full moon. I just realized I left my manifestations in DC, or I'm sorry, in Africa. My husband's gonna have to bring those home. They're gonna I'll probably won't see them for years, which that can be really fun too. Like I noticed that when I was in Africa, for a full year, 2 years, I was like plant, harvest, plant, harvest, plant, harvest. Like I got very like controlling about things. And I was talking to, I think it was actually one of our members. Hi Emily. I was talking to her about this insane desire to control everything while I was in Africa. And she's actually she's lived abroad too, so she understands that feeling of needing to control as much as you can, because especially when you're living abroad in a culture that's not yours and in an unfamiliar place, there's so much that's out of your control in any given moment. And so you're like, what can I like hyper manage? And I think my intention planning and my manifestations was one of those things. And anytime you like start to like hold on to something too tightly, it's almost like the universe is like, never mind. Like we're just gonna like back off and let you realize that like flexing so hard is not really the way to do this. And this is a lesson in my circle of life, continue to learn. It's like I flex so hard on something, I try to control something so much. And then as soon as I just like relax, I'm just like, whatever, trust fall, like I trust fell into a giant lodge in upstate Pennsylvania where I get to record this and like look out the window and see if a Seneca white deer is going to like pop in to see me. And that's just something to know with your intentions planting. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. Ritual review. All right, let's pop on over there for that one. Ba-da-da-da. All right, here we go. So the Pisces new moon ritual, which we just did something really funny. I'm like using all these photos for shop stuff because I get a lot of requests from like random men, honestly, for this kind of stuff. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Give them what they want. There's this actress who says, her name's Lala. She goes, give them Lala. And I'm like, I'll give them Otter. Oh my gosh. Speaking of give them Otter, I have a VA. She's amazing. Her name is Cece, and she's from the Philippines. And she created like an avatar for like a potential client, but it was like a female client, and she named them Golden Beaver. It's like Golden Otter, Golden Beaver, and it's like one of those lost in translation things. And I love it. I haven't had a minute to like tell her like, hey, Cece, did you know that beaver in America, like sometimes when people refer to it, is like it's like a name for a female, bush, basically, like I don't know, pubic hair. And I haven't told her yet. Cece, if you're watching, And you heard me laugh when you said golden beaver. That's why. But I did still love it. And you did an amazing job on the avatar. So it just has nothing to do with that. But anyway, so men wanted photos of this. I'm like, give them golden beaver. Our lunar manifestations members get golden otter, and any of the trolls get golden beaver. Haha. Okay, so the circle of life. We tend to die the way we lived. So again, this is a ritual that's kind of better walked through with somebody on the line. But it's this idea that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and by activating our autonomy and personal power here in the physical, we could eventually choose our transition experience in the most beautiful and peace-filled way possible. So, relegated mostly to private places and closed off areas, public incidents or accidents aside, people are transitioning to the other side of every moment, every day. Transitions can be instantaneous or prolonged, painful or completely peaceful, in solitude or surrounded. And considering there are only two universally shared human experiences, that of coming into life and that of transitioning out, it's interesting to examine why it is that there's only one way to come in via the birth process through the womb of a human female, but infinite ways to go out via the death process. Facing our mortality is not typically something we dedicate much time or thought to in modern society. Bearing the rare exception, when confronted with the inevitability of transitioning to the other side of life, it generally goes that the quicker we can put distance between ourselves and the death experience, the better. What if that by taking ownership of your time as a spiritual being having a human experience, you could craft a lived experience that matches the way you would like to eventually transition? As the final sign of the zodiac, the energy of a Pisces lunation can find us in a vulnerable place if our personal boundaries aren't being respected or our beliefs are being questioned. Rather than fall victim to the prevailing viewpoints in our social spheres or allow others to take advantage of our compassionate nature, this moon's ritual will fortify our auras by anchoring in power and confidence that we are in the driver's seat of our lives to decide our final destination. With love, light, and a license to live long and prosperously, Autumn. So this is just a note that I always say. This ritual is not advocating, intending to glorify or otherwise encourage any form of unnatural death. This ritual seeks to examine our life choices that lead us to a place of rest at the culmination of our life's natural end. So suicide is an unnatural way of ending one's life here in the physical and places our souls in a space of reflection that's not always of the highest and best for an individual or their soul group or family of origin. If you or someone you love is considering suicide, please seek help via the U.S. National Suicide Prevention Lifeline by calling 1-800-273-8255. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or utilize their confidential feature on their website. Again, that's 1-800-273-8255. And their website is suicidepreventionlifeline.org. So if you're struggling at this time, please know that all my love, thoughts, and prayers are with you. While I've not publicly shared the details of my own journey with mental health, suicidal thoughts, and false beliefs about not belonging in this current time-space reality, please know that I've walked this path and found my way to the other side. You have a gift to share with this world. You matter. You are not alone. So if you need additional support, please reach out to me at this time. And then let's pop back over. Because actually, when I wrote that, I hadn't shared the details of my journey with mental health. And now feels like as good of a time as any to do that. So I was recently diagnosed with PTSD, which was I'm gonna say we kind of like uncovered it around June, like June of 2020, and then I actively started seeking treatment in October of 2020. So it's one of those things I was like, I need to figure out what this is first of all, and then I was like, and then I need to do something about it. But getting a diagnosis was the first step. And it kind of helped me take away a lot of like the stigma and the like unease I was feeling about trying to like feel better in my own skin and understand like why things were just always like just so wound tight, right? And I didn't have any suicidal thoughts, at least not in recent years. When I was a kid, which is when my trauma was like when it's tied to, I did. And I did become suicidal as a preteen. And it was all traced back to this like trauma that I experienced. Most of it was about being a light worker. And knowing things that I shouldn't know and speaking about things I shouldn't be speaking about, or saying things and then having the adults in the room be like, no, Autumn, we're not talking about that. And I'm like, well, but you just said it. And they're like, we're not talking about it. And I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. Why are you lying? Or like, why is this mistruth being like, aren't we supposed to always tell the truth? Is that what you teach us in Sunday school or at church or like pretty much anywhere? Like, why are you not telling the truth? And so, as like a kid in an adult world trying to figure out why there were kind of like, what do you call those, shadows, and what do they call those? Like just shadows. Like, why aren't we just being honest? Why aren't we just walking in the light of the truth of this? Which as a kid can be like the easy thing to say. It's like, hey, let's just tell the truth. Um, and that's what we teach kids, but as an adult, we understand as adults there's a little bit of a gray area. So my trauma was linked to when I was young. I wrote a blog article about this. I think it's called "They Called Me Crazy," and essentially I was put in an institution. Like I was locked up at 12 years old, 11 years old. It was the summer between, I can't remember if it's the summer between sixth and seventh or seventh and eighth grade. It was all so fuzzy during that time. But if anybody has been like watching what's going on with Paris Hilton of all people, and the journey that she shared of like kind of the place that she was and what was going on there. My experience was not that drastic. Like nobody was beating us, and I wasn't like there for a reformed kid thing. But I was forced to take medication I didn't want to take. I was forced to do things I didn't want to do. I was like watched like in the showers. People always ask why my hair's so long, and I always say, "Oh, I just like it long." It's like no. When I was that age, I was watched while I was showering, and I always like if I could just get my hair long enough to cover my breasts, then I'll be good in life. And now I just like really love it, and it's not like such a weird thing. I just like it long now. But early when I was young, that was like my intention between growing my hair super long in high school. Like going into high school, I was like, I just have to grow up. Like I had this obsession with getting long hair. Um, and some of it stemmed from that. Speaking of breasts and things I've got coming up, just so you guys are aware, I am getting breast reduction surgery and I'm so excited. I've been waiting for like since I was like 18. I started looking into this when I was 18. Everybody said, wait till you go to college, wait till you have kids, wait, 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 wait. And I'm like, wait until what? And I'm like, oh, until my nipples touch my knees? Now's the time. So anyways, I've got that coming up and I'm excited. So it's kind of another full circle thing for me. But again, back to the mental health. If you or anyone is struggling, reach out to me. I used to hide and I was so, so, so ashamed. And in my PTSD recovery, which I've documented and I just put it up on the YouTube, on my YouTube channel, and it's just titled Recovery. Go check that out, and it's an honest look at somebody going through something, and I try to share as much as I can without revealing the details of like other people who are involved, right? Because like sometimes when we're struggling with mental health, it's not always just us. Like we're part of these family groups, right? We're part of these soul groups, and sometimes our soul groups aren't even just our family. It's like these people that surround us, and so sometimes we can be protecting others, like and at a detriment to ourselves, or we're just afraid of getting that help, right? And the stigma. The princess, or what's her name, Meghan Markle, just did a thing with Oprah, and they were talking about mental health. Prince Henry's talking about mental health, and like people are starting to talk about it, and it's like I've been so ashamed for so long that now I just don't give a shit. Honestly, I just don't care anymore. It's like if somebody wants to judge me for getting help, judge me for getting help. Like I'm not drinking, I'm not doing drugs, I'm not hurting myself, I'm not hurting my kids, I'm not hurting my family. I'm not even losing my security clearance to work for the United States government because I'm saying, hey, I have a problem. I don't feel good and I don't know like how to make it better. So help. And I did the hard thing of getting help, and I could not be more grateful. Like it has changed my life because I did something. I did TMS therapy, transcranial magnetic stimulation, which I'm not advocating it for anybody. I'm just saying this is what I did and it worked for me. I had heard about it and I had thought, no way in hell am I doing that because it's so visible. Meaning like you have to actually go somewhere and somebody can see you doing it, like a doctor or a nurse or something like that. What if somebody found out? It looks scary, and what if it doesn't work? Like, and then what if I'm worse off than I am before? What if it scrambles my brain? I got to such a dark point after my friend was killed, and I was living overseas back in like the fall of 2020 that I was like, oh, can't get any worse than this. Literally, my marriage is in shambles. My motherhood is not doing well. I'm not exactly, I'm thriving on paper during this pandemic, but I'm personally struggling a lot. And really, what do I have to lose? And so I did it, and then I documented it, and I shared it. And if it helps anybody, I hope it does. I hope it helps you, or anybody you know. So if you're not struggling, awesome, good for you. Keep it up, and share this with somebody who maybe is. I tried to be as like honest as I could during the whole thing. Okay, so that's our ritual review. Oh, the last thing I didn't go into really quick for this is um, Pisces. Sorry, I didn't have that on there for ya. The last thing I didn't go into. Hi, Schnookums, you snuck in. Do you want to come over and say hi? Okay. So this ritual is postural alignment for the auric body. So our auric field, or our aura, is the field of energy that surrounds our physical body, and every person has an aura which can be felt or sensed by another person when our fields come into contact. So in the mainstreams, notice somebody's vibe, or just that feeling that you get when somebody comes in the room. The dog just like laid down and knocked back. Like just then, I heard the door open, but I didn't see anybody come in, and then I was like, I feel like one of my kids is in here. It's just that feeling that you get when you know that somebody is in the room with you or in your space. When somebody walks into a room and just the vibe totally changes. Like when this one walks into the room, what's the vibe change to? Mermaid party. Doo, doo, doo. Or what's our hedgehog? Boogie boogie hedgehog. Doo, doo, doo. I was telling them about Perry Grip songs. I was saying we've got our space unicorn theme room.
Boogie boogie hedgehog, boogie boogie hedgehog.
Boogie, boogie hedgehog, boogie. What's the space unicorn? Space unicorn.
Flying through the sky, delivering rainbows all around the world.
Oh,
Lasers, marshmallows.
Oh, it's got more. All right.
It has lasers, marshmallows in it, and the lasers shoot out marshmallows.
The lasers shoot out marshmallows. All right, go brush your teeth, and I'll be out in a minute. Love you. Love you, Schnookums. You're gonna brush your teeth, right?
Well,
because we're gonna have pumpkin pie in a little bit. Sure, thanks. Love you. Okay, so our auras, while we can't really like change the vibe of somebody else, we can for sure change our own. And so this ritual gives us this little postural alignment for our auric bodies to kind of make sure that whenever we walk into a room, we are the ones controlling the energy. So I used to walk into rooms, or I would get so nervous I couldn't walk in. I had to take anti-anxiety meds like Xanax because I was so nervous that I wasn't going to be able to match the tone of the room. So if people were high or low or off, unless I walked in and it was like a good vibe, but you never quite know. And as a military spouse traveling so much, it's not like I was seeing the exact same people all the time. So sometimes I was like, what is this going to be? And so I used to drink and self-medicate. I say self-medicate because I was choosing when to medicate, but it was prescribed by a doctor for anxiety. So I say self-medicate, but I don't know if that's like the best term. Like I would take anti-anxieties and then I would sometimes drink and or drink. I don't think I would mix the two. It wasn't that wild. People have asked me all the time. Actually, I've been getting a lot of questions lately because I guess Joe Rogan talks a lot about plant medicine. And so I think because I'm at like a hunting lodge and I vibe very like conservative, rugged, outdoorsy, Alaskan, like wild woman, like that's my vibe. But then I'm also like, no, I don't do plant medicine. I'm not really an advocate of that. I really don't drink that much, and no, I'm not in recovery. But then people are like, I can't quite. Where on the board do we put you? And I'm like, don't put me on the board. Just don't bother. Don't put me on the board. And I hope they don't put you on the board either. So, anyways, this vibe that I'm talking about. So if you find yourself in these spaces, and especially coming out of the pandemic, you're going to probably be hyper aware of this. It's going to be exceptionally uncomfortable to go back into any situations that you've been away from because you've simply outgrown them and you've simply realized like, whoa, that was like a real big drain on my energy. But as you go forward and you start to enter new spaces that maybe you're like, ooh, this isn't my vibe, I don't know. Set the intention and do the ritual so that you are the one in control of the vibe. You control it. You set the pace. You set the tone. You walk in and you present your energy and everyone reacts to it. Doesn't make you bitch, doesn't make you cocky, doesn't make you arrogant. It just makes you a person of integrity who is willing to stand in your authentic soul self and then share that with other people. And when you do that, you give others the permission to do the same and then they respond in turn. So every now and then there's like certain people who you'll like end up seeing a bit and you're like, gosh, why does this person like just grate on me? And it's like, try to see what it is in their energy field that doesn't match and resonate with yours. And instead of trying to control theirs, get yourself into a position where it either doesn't bother you, because it's like, whatever, you can be an arrogant asshole over there all you want because it doesn't bother me because I'm doing my own thing. Or like, use it as a mirror essentially to see like, is that something that bothers me about somebody else or myself, and if so, how can I get my aura in alignment to not behaving like that. And we can change our auras all the time. So like, if you have if you ever get a reading and somebody like reads your aura, it can indicate health and wellness, and like physical and emotional and spiritual health and vitality. And so anyways, check this part of the ritual out. And then we also have a Wheel of Life exercise, which this is big in the health and wellness space. I'm a certified health coach. And before I even went into health coaching, I actually did one of these with a health coach when I had Ellie, who's 8 now. So it's been like 8 years. And she had us do this wheel, and my husband and I each did one. And then we looked at it, we're like, whoa. And so it has family, friends, significant other, partner, spouse, personal growth, fun and leisure, home environment, career, money, health, and health. And you're supposed to kind of like shade in your level of satisfaction with each. And the idea is that it's balanced, right? Because the wheel to keep going has to be balanced. And if there's anything that's like way out of control, you want to bring it into balance by, taking some away from that category and adding to the ones that you're deficient in, or like just whatever, balancing, right? And I noticed that mine, especially for my career, was just way out of balance because I was just so busy with State Department and so busy with my career at the embassy that I just got, and doing Golden Otter stuff, I just got really out of balance. And I feel like here now that is coming back into alignment with other things, like the fact that I have a fresh pumpkin pie in my oven that I get to go eat in a few minutes. That feels balanced to me. Okay, so work through that. And then last but not least, uh, Pisces is the sign that controls your feet. So do something for your feet, like maybe a reflexology treatment, or just a foot massage to ground you into your physical bodies. If you live in the northern hemisphere and the snow is melted, maybe go out and put your feet in the snow. Every now and then I used to like to run out into the snow barefoot just to like remind me that I am human and that I can. And otherwise, gather a group of like-minded individuals for team sports, yoga, dance party, whatever. The idea is to get in a circle and then just enjoy each other's companies. And this month I'm circling up with all of my aunts. So all of the females in my family on both sides I have seen in the last, since December. And then through the end of this month I will have seen all of my aunts, I think except for one. And I'll hopefully get to see her soon. So that's my circle up. And if you are really into this idea of moving energy, check out the podcast that I did with Master Wuntang, or no, not Wuntang. I did not do an interview with Master Wuntang from the Wuntang clan. Master Ming Tong Gu. I did an interview with about the healing energy, or the ability to use Qigong to heal faster and decrease stress. Okie dokie, artichokes. That is our ritual. I didn't see anybody jump on, so I know some folks are kind of camera shy, but that invitation is there. And please note that if you're a member, and you don't want to share your face, totally fine. You can keep your camera covered and you can just come on and ask your question. Or if you're not a member and you're really interested and maybe you're like, I want to be involved in this space, but I don't know, send us an email at info@goldenotterdivinations.com, and we'll give you a courtesy link to attend one session, like one moon circle for free, or without becoming a member, and so that you can feel the energy of this space and see if it's right for you or not. Okay, so that's it. We did our intention planning. We did our ritual review. We did our what's up next. So up next we have the, let me think. So again, like, this is part of my letting go and relaxing and kind of easing into what's next. So my team is the one who always tells me what's next. They're like, this is what's next. This is what's next. I'm like, oh, that's exciting. So we had if it's the Pisces new moon, let me check it. I like literally can't think, and that's so refreshing. Here we go. We'll do this together. So if you're ever not sure what moon is up, you can head over to the Thinkific site. The old Wix platform still works, so if you've got it as an app, you can check it there. But I just recently we just recently, oh, Zillow. There you go. That's a house in Hawaii I'm looking at. Isn't that beautiful? We own a property in Hawaii, and it's great. It's good, but it's a rental. And we're starting to wonder if maybe we should sell it and buy an equivalent property. So like it's ours is a 2-bed, 2-bath, but it's in a more populated part of this. It's like by one of the military bases. It's beautiful, but now we're kind of wondering like should we sell it now because now is a great time to sell, and then we trade out for something out of the beach that we own outright. And then when we're older and we go to visit, like that's our view versus the one that we have. So I think a trip to Hawaii is up next for me. So that's not what we were looking at, though. Ladies and gentlemen, we have gotten off. We've gotten off the beaten path. But you know what? That's okay. That's what's up next for me. That is truly what's up next for me. Okay, so check out the course if you're a member. If you're not and you're watching this little sneaky peeky of what it looks like. And you can check what moon we are in by going to the 2021 moon ceremony. This is also where you'll get your membership packet of just information, the Q&A recalls. Here's our ceremony schedule. And these are our new moons. Scroll on down. What's next? What's next? Which is our full moon? I also have a link to this. There's just like a straight link where you can see it on the calendar. Wow, is it really already the Libra? Yeah, Libra full moon, things come in pairs. That's exciting because our last one was our Virgo full moon, and that one we were doing houseplants. Okay, so the next one is Libra full moon. You can catch the replay or you can join us for another call. I will be in recovery, like I said, so I might be like a little slow and a little like, or I might be like, hi, everybody, I'm feeling great. So the next time you see me, whatever is seeking me, whatever I am seeking is seeking me, and what I'm seeking is less back pain, better postural alignment, and smaller breasts. So excited! Okay, have a wonderful new moon in Pisces. If you have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, it has been so much fun and such an honor sharing this sacred co-creation space with you. Until next time, be well. Be well and God bless. With love and light, Autumn. Bye.